Bless you, global Christian friends, pastors, saints, and churches, military, government, factory workers, farmers, scientists, police officers, mailmen, teachers, children. Play safely, please. God will not let you want for nothing. He will give you an understanding to fulfill your desire. That which is born of the flesh is earthly and do earthly things. Through the eyes of the body, you see earthly and physical things. That which is born of the Spirit is heavenly and do spiritual things. And through the eyes of the holy, you see heavenly and spiritual things. The three works of the Spirit we've given already. We'll give them to you again. All right? We've given to you once before. We'll give them to you again. But before we do, let's look at the general attitude of the Spirit. The general attitude of the Spirit. The general attitude of the Spirit is one of generosity. And why? Because like the Son was given, He was given. So there's the spirit of generosity. All right, the works, three works of the Spirit. One, illuminating Jesus' teachings. Two, glorifying Jesus' personages. And three, working in the life of the individual and the church. Keep that in mind. Things you need to know and need to understand with great simplicity because they're there. The great thing God wants you to know and see these great things that God put here for you to understand. Listen to this. How do you make the spirit of a just man who walked with God 300 years perfect? Let me get that again. How do you make the spirit of a just man who walked with God 300 years perfect? The apostles walked with Jesus 3 years. Enoch walked with God 300 years. Though Noah walked with God. Genesis chapter 6, verse 9. No one walked with God longer than Enoch. And how do you let Jesus know that you make all perfect? Think about that statement. How do you let Jesus know that you make all perfect? Now, you got to listen to this program to get this kind of answer. I'm not going to give this answer now, but if you stay on long enough and stay attentive, all these questions will be answered in due time. But you can't just pop on and pop off, or pop in and pop out. There are particles at the quantum level that are doing that all the time. At the quantum level, they are popping in, they are popping out, and they are driving the scientists crazy because they are popping in and they are popping out while they're searching for that elusive, that's what they call it, particle, that boson. But life unto the world for the life of the world. That's something you need to think about. Springing up into the world to come. Think about that statement. Springing up into the world to come. Wait a minute. That's not scripture. Everything you hear from this side, from this particular ministry, is scriptural. If you don't understand it, you ask God to give you an understanding. He'll give you one. Springing up into the world to come. How can you spring up into the world to come? Well, go to John 4 and 14 and find out. We'll do that momentarily. John 4:14. We'll read it for you. Read along with us. John 4:14 says, "But whosoever drinketh of the water that I shall give him shall never thirst. But the water that I shall give him shall be in him a well of water springing up," where? Into everlasting life. The world to come. All right? That's what it's all about. Wait a minute. How can that be? Simply, go to John 3:16 and pay attention to the 16th word. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have what? Everlasting life. Same thing. Everlasting life. The world to come. Springing up into the world to come. But we're not taught that in our church. I can't help that. We're taught how to be prosperous. For what? What are you being prosperous for? Be rich toward God. Store up your treasures in heaven. Spring up in everlasting life. Know the kind of knowledge that God himself wants you to have. How do you let Jesus know? That you make all perfect. God bless you. Next time, Global Christian friends, God bless you out there, American government.